Hello everyone, this is Rockard Gamer 45 and I'm back again with the next part of the Doom Eternal reveal countdown. Day 2, so we are literally 6 days away from getting Doom Eternal reveal now. It's getting closer, it's getting real close now. I cannot wait to find out so much more about this game and see what they've actually done to this series. So I thought for the countdown today, for number 6, I thought I'd talk about another huge part of the Doom series. Obviously it would not be the same without this, and that of course is the obstacles you encounter in the way, which better known as the enemies, the demons. And oh boy, what a difficult question I've just asked me and you guys. Well, favourite monster is really hard to do because I think I have a different one for each game, and that's because each enemy attacks differently in each game. For instance, the Revenant. In the original games they were fast and they shot missiles that were really quick and they could be really difficult to avoid, and the huge pack of them could be, actually in my opinion, one of the toughest enemies to fight in the game. Much harder than Hell Knights and Barons ever could be in my opinion. But then look at them in PlayStation 1 Doom. Slow and much easier to kill. Doom 3, they're slow, they have dangerous missiles that can be very irritating, probably the most irritating enemy in Doom 3 once again in my opinion. But they are different. And then look at Doom 2016. Oh boy, they are much easier to kill, definitely the easiest game they've ever been in. You just stall them, they barely attack, when they do it does no damage. They're literally stunned the whole time. They're not a challenge. I really hope they change that in Doom Eternal. The reason I chose Revenant, because in the original games, like I said, these are one of my favourite enemies. I love the Revenants. I just love their design and the whole idea of them actually being enemies in hell that have died and literally being stapled and barred up back together. So literally all come back together and held together with barbed wire, I believe they said somewhere I've read. That's literally what they do, and combat gear from old enemies and stuff like that. So if an unlucky or unfortunate enemy didn't get saved by an archvile, in the future their bones come back as a Revenant. I mean, story changes in each game as well, of course. So in the new game it's kind of different what Revenants are, but that's just what I kind of associate Revenants as now, and that's what it actually means. Revenant, it means that bring back the dead or something like that. I can't actually remember. Someone will know. Yeah, so that's why I love the Revenant. I just love their story. And in the classic games, I know this is going to be an unpopular decision, I love the Pain Elemental as well. Only because I think they had like the most creepiest smile at the whole game. Him and the Cacodeme. I don't know why they made the flying enemies so creepy. But they just have that really cool, massive mouth. That big wide open mouth. Creepy smile. And really can be deadly. Not the Cacodemons. They are kind of a joke in the old games. Really easy. Pain Elementals can be very irritating and a priority to kill. If I had to think what other people in the community think, I'd definitely say that two most popular ones are going to be Cyber Demon and probably Archvile. I mean, Archvile is going to be like really high on most people's lists, but at the same time it's going to be a huge part of the community that can't stand the Archvile. That's going to be one of them. It's going to be high and low. It's not going to be really much in the middle, I don't think. You're either going to love or hate the Archvile. Cyber Demon has got loads of fans, I can see why. I don't know, it's really hard to classify them as a normal enemy. The only game they're actually a normal enemy in that we've seen so far is Doom 2. And maybe Doom 64, if you classify that. But I think they're more of mini boss fights throughout the whole series. They were in Doom 1, the final boss in Doom 3, and of course the first boss in Doom 2016. Cyber Demons were just meant to be the boss enemy type. I think out of all the main games we've had, there's not been a single game where Cyber Demon has not shown up. Doom Eternal, I think, is going to be that first game. We saw Doom 1, we saw Doom 2, even in Doom 64, Doom 3, Doom 2016. I don't think they're going to show up in Doom Eternal. I just think he was a boss once in the reboot and we might not see him again. I mean, of course we could see him again. There could be a new version of the Cyber Demon, maybe shown as more of a mini boss 2 or 3 times in the game or something like that. It's possible. But if not, they said that would be the first time in Doom history, in the main game, we have not seen a Cyber Demon show up. That's kind of crazy to think about. So yeah, that's just the classic favourites. Moving on to enemies in Doom 3, I don't think any of them are my favourite. I love the Hell Knights kind of creepy design. I mean, it's very controversial with Doom 3 because a lot of them are completely new designs. Look at the Cacodeme, he looks nothing like he did in the other games. But then again, Doom 64 did touch on that before with the Cacodemon and the Pain Elemental looking completely different. So it was nothing new for the series, but I don't know. I just don't really like the Doom 3 enemies that much. None of them are terrible. Most of them are irritating, but none of them I actually come across and go, oh god, is this enemy again? If I had to pick out my favourite, I guess it would be the Hell Knight or the Mancubus. Just because that the Mancubus and Hell Knight are just personal favourites of mine as well. Doom 2016, that's a hard one as well. I'm kind of hoping to like the Baron. I do and I don't at the same time. I love its kind of over the top hellish design, but they do look different. I think they could have looked more demonic, to be honest, to what they actually did. Maybe like a more of a goat like design like the original ones did, where they look more kind of maybe like fur on their feet, because that was obviously based on a goat, because I mean, goat's a strong part of hell and everything, like devil worshipping, all that, you know that whole situation. Something like that. I just kind of lost their charm a little bit. They were not the hardest enemy in the game either, but they were portrayed as the hardest enemy in the game, so you literally have a tough fight with loads of other enemies that are equally as difficult, and then you fight two Barons on their own, and then it'd just be like a total pushover. Like, one or two Barons on their own is so easy to deal with. The only time I find Barons difficult is if there's three of them, or three plus really, along with another group of demons in the room along with them, such as Cyber Mancubus. He can be really difficult from a distance with his long ranged attacks. That's when the Baron gets difficult, when you got to try and deal with other enemies first, because they just suddenly move in quicker, fight quicker, and they do quite a lot of damage when they actually attack you. But coming to my favourite in Doom 2016, I don't know. It's really hard. Once again, it's kind of the same situation with Doom 3. I don't really have a favourite. There's none of them I hate, but there's none of them I love, apart from the Lost Soul. Can't stand that guy. What are they going to do to the Lost Soul in Doom Eternal? I don't know. But every game so far they've got worse. If I had to pick my favourites, I guess I love the Cacodemon's design, and I do think they're challenging winner in the campaign. And the Mancubus is really cool. I know a lot of people don't like the Pinky Demon, but honestly I thought they've done a great job with the Pinky Demon. I know it's the armour that people don't like. I understand why, because they didn't have it in the original games, but I don't know, I just think they nailed it in the Doom 2016 formula, because it's a lot harder to pull off these enemies now, and pretty much the modern combat that Doom has evolved into, a lot harder to what it would have been back in 1993 and in just 90s in general really. So yeah, if I had to pick my favourite, it would be the Mancubus and the Cacodemon. In terms of design, the Revenant would probably still be my favourite. I still love the look of them. I just wish they wasn't so disappointing in every other way. So yeah, that's all I've really got for this video. I can't wait to see what my favourite enemy in Doom Eternal will be. We've got twice the amount of demon types, so we're going to see a lot more fresh demon blood. So I'm hoping there's going to be some enemies that are going to go down as all-time classics, or at least make their way into the classics enemies in the future. Hopefully they're not like Doom 3 enemies where all of them come back irritating. I wouldn't mind if Doom 3 enemies come back, because that'd be kind of interesting to see what some of these enemies would look like in Doom 2016 style, and how they would act in the new gameplay formula. That'd be interesting. I think I'd like that. So anyway, what's your guys' favourite enemies? Do you have a favourite one? Do you think they're all just cool? Do you think the enemies is not really the point of Doom? Because I know a lot of people think that. I'm just a huge fan of enemies in general. I love FPS games and coming across new enemy types and how they change the gameplay overall, and what they do and how they look and how they play into the story. That's just me. But I know a lot of other people rather just stick to the fast gameplay and not even worry about what they're killing. That is also fine. So anyway, just let me know in the comments down below. And we're getting so close now, I can't wait. Tomorrow will be the next part of the countdown. Until then, this has been Rock Hard Gamer 45, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.